Timothy Salzer. I'm a licensed occupational therapist, and I'm the owner of Proactive Rehabilitation and Wellness. Just wanted to share with you a little article that we put out on the site about the 5 best pieces of home exercise equipment out there. Now, this was written by one of our physical therapists. She's a licensed physical therapist. Her name's Susanna, and I'll link to everything in the description below. You can check it out. We've got links to some of the equipment if you want to go buy it. We are big fans of really exercise in general, right? Movement for pain is the best pain medication we've got. So from a standpoint of in the clinic, when folks come in and we're treating them and they maybe have experienced chronic pain for many, many years, or maybe it's an acute injury, we always have people move. And the way we make them move primarily is through physical activity like exercises, right? Now, obviously, doing things around the house, your daily activities, gardening in the backyard can still count as exercise. But for those of us who live a relatively sedentary life, I'm one of those people, I'm in and out of the clinic, but for a lot of time, I'm sitting at the computer typing away notes, or I'm sitting down with a patient, talking with the patient. I don't get a whole lot of physical activity and workout in my daily routine. I'm not, roofing houses in Georgia. I'm not moving heavy things a whole lot. I mean, maybe a weight here or there for a patient, but I'm not doing a whole lot of strenuous physical activity. So in situations like that, it's really, really good to have some kind of exercise routine built into your daily life, right? Now, it doesn't mean you have to go out and crush weights every single day for, an hour every day to kind of make sure you're ripped and all that kind of stuff. We're just talking about baseline physical activity that's enough to keep you active, healthy, and limber, right? You want to be able to do the things you want to do, whether that be throwing the baseball in the backyard with the grandkids or, I don't know, crawling around. I've got a 1-year-old who's crawling around and walking around. Like, I want to be able to get down on the floor and play with her and get back up and not feel like my back's killing me or my knees are killing me or whatever. So exercise is a great way to do that. So when we talk about exercises, a lot of times patients and clients that come into the clinic get overwhelmed. They're thinking, okay, what, do I have to buy a Bowflex or, some kind of big expensive piece of equipment? What goes into daily or regular exercise? And it can be very overwhelming. I mean, you shop on Amazon, you just search for exercise equipment, you're going to get 300 pages worth of responses. So what we've tried to do in this article here is just break it down for the 5 most important and best exercise equipment pieces that you can have at your home. They're inexpensive, they're easy to store, they can be used for a variety of different exercise and different activities. So the first one is going to be some light dumbbells. They don't have to be 100 pounds, but dumbbells in general are great because you can use them for upper body strength, whether it be curls or upward presses, or even lower body activities like goblet squats or standing squats or lunges or anything like that using your dumbbells. Dumbbells can range from, like I said, 0 to half a pound all the way up to 100 pounds. You don't need to go all the way up to the max. Use one pair at a time. You can get them on Amazon for $15 maybe. Shoot for one of those low middle weights. I always tell people somewhere in the neighborhood, if you're going to be doing a lot of like upper extremity shoulder stuff, maybe start with 5 pounds, work up to 10 pounds. I mean, if you're doing like upward presses or something like that with 10-pound weights, or even scaption or abduction like that, like a jumping jack with 10-pound weights can be a little excessive. So maybe step down into the 5-pound range and then build your way up, right? If you're just starting out, get a 2-pound weight, 1-pound weight. If you've got an injury to your shoulder, obviously check with a physical therapist or an occupational therapist or even your doctor before you just start cranking out some exercises, because there are some specific exercises you can do with a dumbbell that can help improve your rotator cuff strength, the positioning of your shoulder, and help decrease some of your pain in the long run too. So exercise can be great for strengthening the right muscles as well to prevent pain. The next piece of equipment, the second, would be resistance bands of some kind. They're relatively inexpensive. Again, you can get like a starter kit on Amazon for like $12. I'm going to link to that in the show notes too if you want to check them out, like an exercise loop. And you can get, I think there's 4 or 5 of them, different resistance levels, and it's like $12. Comes with a nice little bag. Throw them all in there, throw it in your closet, and you call it a day. But they're great for upper body strengthening and lower body strengthening, and they're very effective for strengthening. There's a lot of research around kind of the consistent load and resistance that resistance bands provide being very good for activating muscles throughout a course of range of motion or course of movement, right? You can, again, start with like very, very light, like a tan or a yellow, all the way up to a very heavy resistance, like, black or purple or something like that. And depending on your fitness level and kind of where you are strength wise, you might want to start with, kind of middle of the road. If you already crush a lot of weights, you're in the gym a lot, maybe start with something higher. Most of the people that we have in the clinic are starting from scratch. Either it's an injury or they're just getting into some kind of physical activity, in which case we're like, okay, start with something like a yellow band or a red band, and then kind of work your way up through the colors as you go. Just make sure, this is my one tip of advice, my piece here. If you're going to start with resistance bands, it makes sense to continue with the same brand throughout. So like if you use the big one is the TheraBand, they're like the big name in the space. But if you buy TheraBand the yellow, you want to make sure that if you're stepping up to the next resistance level, you go with TheraBand again, just because it has nothing to do with brand loyalty or anything like that. But different brands, one, have different colors, which can be confusing, but then also the jumps in resistances can be different too. So we've ordered here in the clinic, we've started with maybe, let's say, TheraBand for the yellow, and we're like, oh, you know what, there's another deal on the red band from another provider, and we'll get the red band from another provider, and then find out that, oh, you know what, like this is way too strong or not strong enough. So sticking with the same brand gives you consistency throughout, but your mileage may vary, right? The third piece of equipment would be a Swiss ball or big exercise ball. They can be used for stretching. They can be used for strengthening activities, whether it be like body weight, crunches or something like that on the ball. They can also be used for yoga and those isometric type activities at home. They come in a lot of different sizes. You can get big ones. I think the standard is like 26 inches. You can get all the way down to small, itty bitty, like 10, 12, 14-inch balls. They can also double as a seat for when you are doing maybe exercise with those dumbbells that you got earlier. Sitting on top of the ball while you're doing this exercise works on your core, your dynamic sitting balance, all of that great stuff. So you can get two workouts in one. Or, Susanna says you can use it while you're watching TV. Make sure you get yourself one of those anti-burst balls, though. You don't want one of those thin ones that you roll over like a Lego or something like that. Speaking from experience here, pop, you're on the ground. So get yourself something that's good thick rubber. Look at the reviews on Amazon. We'll link to one in the show notes, but they're a dime a dozen, right? The next piece of exercise equipment that you want, the number 4, would be a foam roller. Foam rollers are great for rolling out sore muscles, improving mobility. They're very cost effective, and you can use them all over the place, and they come in multiple sizes, right? You can get long ones, short ones. Make sure you get yourself a high density foam roller, because high density foam roller is going to be rigid enough to keep its shape while you're rolling, let's say, on your back. One of the big exercises we do for folks that have like rhomboid or periscapular dysfunction or tightness in the periscap area and like the rhomboids in the middle traps is we have them put a foam roller down on the mat or on the floor right between their shoulder blades, and then kind of get up on their back so their body weight is sitting on that roller while they're moving through certain movements and motions. If you get yourself one that's not a foam roller, that's not high density foam, it'll kind of just squish, and you don't want that. That's no good for anybody. So get yourself a high foam density roller. I'll link to one of the ones that we use in the clinic, and you can check it out and see if it's worth it for you or not. And the very last, number 5, the last piece of equipment, the best piece of exercise equipment, is your own body. Your own body is the cheapest. It's the easiest option, and you can do all kinds of simple and effective home exercises using just body weight, whether it be push-ups, burpees, air squats, lunges. Countless activities can be done just using your body weight. Make sure you get yourself a good solid app or something like that kind of walks you through progressions of exercises that you can carry on. Some of them have like 30-day, 90-day, 180-day programs, kind of stepping you up from, okay, I'm not doing any physical activity, maybe starting with a few push-ups here and a few sit-ups, all the way to the point where you're doing burpees and V-ups and lunges and all that kind of stuff. Anything is good. What I tell people is just get moving, right? So hopefully This video and these ideas here kind of just motivate you to go grab something, get something off the shelf, even if it's your own body, get it off the couch, off the chair, and get moving, because exercise, again, is the best pain medication we have, according to the research. Is the best pain reliever we have. It's the best thing, especially resistance training, is the best thing for strength, building long-term mobility, decreasing the risk of falls. There's so many reasons why you want to be out there moving and exercising regularly. It's not just about losing weight and looking fit. Of course, that can be a motivator. It's about maintaining that quality of life as you age, especially if you get into a situation or a work life where you're just not doing a whole lot of intense physical activity. Exercise is the key to a long, healthy, enjoyable life. So check us out here. I'm going to link to the website down below, where you can find the links and a little bit more description about the 5 best pieces of exercise equipment. And then if you like the video, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, little bell, so you can get notified when we drop a new one. All right, folks, until the next time, be safe, be healthy. I'll talk to you then.